Okay, let's get the big question out of the way first. Yes, I did buy another guitar. And, up to now it's nothing special. It often happens with us guitar players. But the reason why I bought it could be a bit more interesting.
Riley just waits on somebody to get new life. And yes, wait on. Never coming slack. Say, are you looking up? Are you asking why? Cause if you wanna go, then baby, go line. Yeah, I can shift same smoke, I can deny. You can put it on a rest for one night.
So this is a Kylan guitar, and it's essentially a copy of an Airline Twin Tone from the 60s. Now, I just got it a few days ago, and in fact I'm not gonna have it for much longer because it's gonna go to Luthier's in a few days to get a few modifications done to it. Now, I got it for very cheap, and it's not a particularly good guitar, so you may ask, why did you buy a guitar that you don't really like that much? Well, because I have a plan for it, and the plan is to turn this into a baritone. So right now it's tuned to standard, E, A, D, everything, E standard. And I want to tune it to A standard, so extremely lower. It would be 7 semitones lower. Like if you took your regular guitar, put it seven frets lower, that's how this will sound. And for that, you need some incredibly thick strings. I'm thinking 1468 or something. And so you need a new guitar nut, because they don't fit in the regular one. So it's gonna get a new nut. It's gonna get a bit of a setup. I'm gonna reset a bit myself to what I like, because my setups are weird as hell. But he will do a good job at putting it at a baseline level. And yeah, it's going in a few days. It'll come back, and it'll be a completely new instrument. I've never had a baritone guitar, and I will be learning how to play it essentially, which is really cool. I hope it will inspire me to write some new things for the record I'm doing, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So there comes a point in an artist's life where sometimes you discover someone who shakes what you know about music to the core. It happened to me a bunch of times with John Mayer, with Chris Buck, and more recently with McGee. Now, what McGee did to me, it wasn't only like teach me a new way of playing, but like completely reimagining the guitar from the MIDI pickup and guitar synths and these really low growling tunings and weird effects. Like he completely reimagined how guitar had to sound for me, and safe to say I fell in love with it pretty quickly. Now, about tunings, since this video is about taking a normal guitar and converting it to a baritone range like he does, I always played with low tunings. I always loved alternate tunings. My telly, which is right here, for most of the time it's tuned to C standard. I think right now. Yeah, right now it's in C standard also, so I've always liked low-tuned guitars. I think it brings something special. I think guitar in itself is an instrument and it should be tuned lower than we usually do. But I never actually used them in music. I thought they were kind of gimmicky, and I never really found a place for them. And McGee taught me that you can absolutely use them in music, and they sound absolutely beautiful also. So yeah, because I'm in the process of recording and writing an album for a project, I thought, well, why not get a guitar and put it permanently in low tuning with bigger strings instead of having my regular gauge and have them all flappy. So yeah, that's what we're doing with the Kylin. Right now I don't have it at home because it's at the luthiers to get a new guitar nut so that strings can fit, because I'm using 1468s on it, the baritone strings, which are huge compared to my usual 1154s. They didn't fit in the nut, so I needed a new nut done, and yeah, it'll come back and we'll see how it goes. Well, hello once again. So, the guitar is back from the luthier, and the low string sounds like this. That's low as hell. It's as low as an A string on a bass, just to put you into perspective, and I couldn't like it more. It's incredibly inspiring to play. Not only for McGee stuff, like, of course, playing McGee on this thing is incredible, but writing riffs, it unlocks a whole new way of playing, just because it's so much slower. The first thing I noticed is power chords and intervals, like really low, they don't really work, because this guitar goes so low in terms of range that it muddies up everything if you try and do like thirds down. So you're restricted to a single bass note and embellish everything in the high end, which is something that I always tried to do on my normal guitars, but I guess because it didn't really sound bad embellishing in the low end, I never actually stuck with it. This one is pretty much impossible, like you'll hear it later. If I try to do a major third on the low strings, it'll sound horrendous because they're so low, they just start to contrast each other. Also in a mix, they bring out weird resonances and everything, so that helps. It's a big lesson that I'm learning. And also, writing on it, it's just been so much fun. Like I've had it for a bit of time now, and I've already written a couple of riffs, and one of them is a session in my computer, and it's getting worked and arranged. So yeah, that's incredibly cool. I would have never expected a simple enough modification like thick strings, a new nut, and lower tuning to bring out such a new character from an instrument. And yeah, it's just been a beautiful journey, and I want to see how it goes. I'm thinking of finding a way of bringing this on holiday instead of my acoustic so that I can keep playing, keep learning with it. I'll have to figure out a way to power it, but I'm thinking maybe I could bring a little Tascam with me because of my newfound obsession with McGee. So this afternoon I'm actually going to look at a Tascam, but yeah. This guitar has been incredible for the past few days, and I hope it will continue to be. Yeah, It's just really cool. Never had something like this, and I actually recommend you to have something like this in your arsenal, even if it's just a cheap guitar, like I did. Like this, I paid this something like 150 euros, so very very cheap, and I paid I don't know 100 euros for the nuts and the setup. So, you know, I got it for 250. That's less than a Squier, and this is a much better instrument than any Squier will ever be. So yeah, if you can have a takeaway from this video is, if you have the possibility, go find a cheap guitar, put it in baritone tuning, just see what happens. It'll be really really fun, I promise.